This episode of Walt Disney World Today is being sponsored by you. Yep, you. That's right. No, not you. You.
This is Walt Disney World Today. Give us 5 minutes and we'll give you the world.
It's Friday, May 30th, 2008, and this is episode 416 of Walt Disney World Today. I'm Matt Hodgberg from StudioCentral.com. On the show today, we have Mike Newell of Mouse World Radio. Welcome, Mike.
Why? This whole episode sponsored by me?
No, you.
Oh, not me,
right
but
you.
Oh, me. You mean me?
Also, no, you.
Who's on first?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You beat me to it. Also on the show today, we have Mike Scopa of allears.net. Welcome, Mike.
Making the world a better place starts in your own backyard.
Muppets.
Making the world a better place.
Oh, I know. That stupid show in Milan with Timon and Pumbaa.
Circle of Life?
Yeah.
It's not stupid.
That's right.
That's
right, Matt.
Great way to describe it.
The stupid attraction. I don't like it.
Circle of Life.
A little too preachy for my.
Circle of Life.
I think they have to show the alternative viewpoint, which is, trash the earth.
Nice.
Yeah. You know me, Mr. Earth. Also here today is Len Testa, co-author of The Unofficial Guide to Walt Disney World. Welcome, Len.
How's it going, my furry monkeys?
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
Crickets.
Oh, boy.
Shut up.
Man, we're all bombing. This does not bode well for the rest of this episode. Also on the show today is Annette Owens of MEI and Mouse Fan Travel. And Annette, would you agree with me that if you don't like this episode, just go back and listen to episode, 414, the one with the eating around the world?
Yeah, go back to that one. That might be better. I'm not sure yet.
But on today's show, we're talking about what we're calling when reality strikes. And Mike, so why don't you quickly explain this idea of today's show?
He always turns to me.
It's your idea.
Well, I know it's the idea. Anyways, I think that everybody plans as much as they can when they go to when they go on a trip to Walt Disney World. Things that they want to make sure that everything's taken care of. They may go to the dentist. They don't want to have any problems with their teeth when they get down there, and they just want the vacation to be perfect.
Yep.
However, it's not going to happen 100% of the time. If it does, consider yourself lucky. But there's always a little bit of reality that will come in to a Disney vacation, and what we're trying to do in this episode is trying to alleviate any concerns, worries, and fears, and talk about some of our own experiences so that we can pass along what we've learned so that those who unfortunately may have the same experiences that we have, at least we'll have some type of information to fall back on. We had to be pioneers in this because we didn't have anything to go by, but we're just trying to pass along what we've learned on our experiences.
That's right. And I'm going to start with you, Mike, because one of the experiences I think could happen potentially to a lot of different people is something happened to your rental car. Your rental car was damaged, and a lot of us rent cars now. Mike, why don't you explain what happened to your car and what happened?
On the recent trip, I recall getting back to my rental car on a Saturday afternoon, and I noticed the windshield was extra shiny. And as I approached the car, I noticed that there was a crack in the windshield. Now, I knew that there was no crack when I had parked the car at the studio's parking lot earlier that day. I noticed a little impact. Something made an impact at the bottom of the windshield, and there was a little S on it. And I immediately thought, oh my God, what am I going to do? What should I do? Is this going to cost me whatever? And I started stressing out because I'm thinking not only I'm thinking it's going to cost me time. I'm going to have to do something with the car. I'm going to have to bring it back. I'm going to have to be some kind of a deal with insurance or whatever. So it really bothered me. So what I did is I called up my insurance company first. A lot of people would say, gee, why don't you call the rental car first? And I didn't want to call the rental car agency first because I felt that I'd be calling them and I'd be just an individual talking with a company. I wanted my insurance company to be behind me. I wanted them to have as much information, and I felt that would be the most logical thing to do. So what I did is I called my insurance company, and I found out something, that some insurance companies, I'm not sure if all of them, but some of them actually have departments that deal with rental car accidents, and they have set aside pre-arrangements with rental car companies as to how best to handle it. So I called my company and I told them exactly what date the accident occurred. I told them the time that I discovered it. I told them exactly what was going on, and they gave me a claim number. They told me what options I had, and then they said to call the rental car company and give them the claim number and give them information. And what was really nice was that the claim agent the adjuster, the claim agent who I talked to, said to me, give them my name, give them my number, and they can call me if they want to talk to me. So what I did was I took all that information down, then I called the rental car company and I talked with them and I described what had happened and I gave them all the information, and they were really nice. I don't know if you want me to mention the car rental company, Matt?
Sure. Go ahead.
It's National Car, and they were very, very, very nice. They said to me, well, Mr. Scopa, what would you like to do? I said, well, I think that the car is it's drivable. The accident occurred on Saturday. Unfortunately, I could not report the accident until Monday because my insurance company was closed for the weekend. But in that 48 hours from the time that I first discovered the windshield had cracked, there was no change in the crack. So I said to them that if it was okay with them, I would like to continue driving the car and then just turn it in, normally when I was, ready to go home. And they said that was fine with them. Now, there are other options that I want everyone to know. There are several areas at the resort where I could have brought the car in and probably turned it in and gotten a replacement car, but I didn't want to take the time to do that. The thing that really concerned me the most was the time impact on my vacation down there, and there was none. And I think that the insurance companies and the car rental companies, had the foresight to understand that this kind of stuff would happen, and they don't want to impact their clients, their customers' time. So I think it went much better than I thought it was going to go, and I was really pleased.
That's right. And Newell, when you rent a car, you usually get like the insurance where you can literally return the keys and that's it, right?
Yeah, I always get heat.
Do you
for that.
really?
The
Really?
problem.
I
Mike,
don't
would
do
you
that.
really? Anyone else? Matt?
Really?
And here's the reason why. And I know I'm covered under my car insurance policy, and I know but I don't use a credit card when I rent the car. So I usually use my debit card. And I know it's a lot more money than it should be, but you know what? It's peace of mind for me. So while I'm on vacation, my car was broken into in downtown Disney, and I brought the car back with, the damaged trunk, and all they did was have me sign something, and I never heard about it again. So
I left something in the car. I had to get to it. I didn't have the keys, so you know how that goes.
all
Sorry
you had to
about
do was
that.
ask.
Come on.
So
That's one thing.
To me,
that
that's peace
can
of
happen.
mind. And if I can enjoy my vacation, I have to worry about if someone's going to, bang my car in the parking lot, or if they're going to, do anything. That's one less thing I have to worry about.
Mike makes a good point, and that is that everybody should check with their insurance company to see if they are covered for certain accidents that may occur while they're on vacation. Not every policy is the same.
Yep.
There are things like deductibles, coverage, limits of liability, all kinds of aspects of a policy, and I think that everybody should play it safe and understand what their policy covers before they get on that plane.
That's a good point.
So you guys each have interesting approaches. Scopa, you called your insurance company. Mike, you take care of it ahead of time. Me, I would have torched the car.
You would have put those onion bagels in it, Len, right?
Okay, exactly.
No, he would have just, as he's
I would've,
torching it, he said, "Boy, I don't think I'd ever have to do this again."
Exactly. Who would have thought I'd have to do this twice in the same year? Torching it and then driving off into a canal. That's
That's
what
right.
I would have done. But,
Oh, my
all right,
God.
whatever.
Speaking of Mike and Newell, Mike, you've actually had the unfortunate experience of having to go to the emergency room, right? During your
Yeah.
Disney World vacation.
All my experiences that were unpredictable had to do with either the emergency room or some sort of medical condition. I'm the kind of person that packs everything that I need to take except my seizure medication, so I'm always leaving that behind. And I think the people at Turner Drugs know me by first name at this point because I'm always calling up saying, yeah, I forgot it again. And let me tell you,
that's something you can do, right, Mike, is you can, if you forget your prescription, rather than freak out or, whatever, you can have the prescription called in.
Yeah, what's awesome is I call my, my doctor. I say, listen, and he knows it. Again, you did it again. Yes. Go through the whole thing.
Dr. Welby?
And what they do is they fax over my prescription to Turner, and because I don't think Turner leaves it on file. So, and what the great thing about it is that Turner will deliver it to the front desk if you're staying on property. So all you gotta do, it's awesome. You come back and the red light's blinking and you go to the front desk, and I think it's an extra fee of $5. It was the last time, I think. And it's not. And that's, again, that's more peace of mind for me. I don't have to go crazy. I'm also okay.
I was to say, you've been to the emergency room as well for something more than just forgetting your medicine.
Yeah, they know me at the,
about that.
Yeah, they know me at the,
you guys are like hard luck schlep rock when you guys traveled.
Yeah. They know me at the celebration emergency room as well.
I missed a plane once. I mean, it wasn't bleeding or anything. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's, I've never had to go myself. It's always been Mary that had it. It's either she had a severe
walked into a door.
No, that wasn't an accident. In fact, I have it on the GPS so that if we ever need to go again,
what's the closest one, Mike, or the one that you go to?
We go to the one in Celebration.
Okay, and you've had generally good experiences over there.
Yeah, they're terrific in there, and like Mike says, you really don't want to lose a lot of time and. For the most part, they're pretty quick. It's not as bad as going to the ER here, here in New York where you can wait hours and hours and hours. Yeah. But, they're very professional, very nice, and, they really get you on your way relatively fast.
Now, a lot of things can happen, unfortunately, during your trip, and it may be something that happens to you, like, God forbid, something happens to one of you or someone in your family, or something happens to one of your family members back home, and you have to cut your trip short. Now, Annette, if you need to cancel your trip while you're on your trip, let's say you're on day 2 and you're here for, another, whatever, be it another day or another 8 days, what's Disney's policy on cancellations and how does that work?
Well, that's one of the reasons why we offer to all of our clients trip insurance, because things can happen when you're on vacation and you have to leave. If you're on property at Disney and you have to leave, you're already there.
Right.
And so that's considered canceling in the middle. So if you don't have trip insurance, you are definitely at their mercy as to how they want to handle your situation. I've got to say, for medical issues, for weather, hurricane season, that kind of thing, we definitely recommend trip insurance to cover you in these situations.
I know.
What kind of weather is that?
That's the week's. It sounds like you're on the Norway ride, but anyway. It's something that comes up, trip insurance. I mean, look, Annette just said that, and I'm sitting here. I have a huge trip planned for my honeymoon, which is in September, otherwise known as peak hurricane season, and I have 0 trip insurance.
Where are you going?
The Caribbean.
Get it.
Not that it has to
What could possibly go wrong with that?
Yeah.
So mad.
Dude, you so have to get the trip insurance for that.
We'll have a different show after September, won't we?
Yeah, exactly. I'm stuck still in this desert island broadcasting from.
Anytime I take the cruise, I always get the trip insurance.
And
that's a lot of money that you're laying down for that. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's not like you're staying at Pop. No offense, Mike, but it's, the cruise especially. I mean, that's a lot of money. And you're going right in hurricane season.
Going back to, canceling last minute. Newell, you've generally heard some good things about Disney's policy. Technically, they could probably just say, well, you're out of luck, sir. But you've generally heard some good things about them doing, working with people generally.
From what I understand, that they are very accommodating. And it also, I guess it helps, Annette, you can back me on this. If you do have a vacation planner helping you, that it's probably easier to call your vacation planner for help.
Yeah, yes, we get calls like this not often, but we do get them, and we get to help them arrange their flights home, try to work between them and Disney. Because if they are in the middle of a medical emergency, they're not really thinking about what's going to happen with their vacation money.
Exactly.
They're more concerned about the medical emergency that's going on.
Plus,
so we can take care of that for them while they're going.
And just the help
Yeah.
of getting the airline straightened out and all that, that's got to be a little bit of relief. Again, less stress and one thing less to worry about. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, having a travel agent, I think I agree with you, Mike, is going to help get when something happens, they can be the ones that are really on the front lines, sitting on hold with the airline, sitting on hold with Disney, and doing it, not you. Not to say that you go out there and ride the teacups, wee,
Right, exactly.
problems, but it's not going to be as bad because things are happening. Let's say there's a family emergency. You can actually focus on your family, talking to them, rather than waste half the day trying to figure out your plans. You know what I mean?
I cannot wait until my next trip because I'm going to call Owen Owens and go, woman, your car's on fire in the canal. Good luck with that rental car.
I can honestly say I've never had that phone call.
I don't know what the hell you're going to do, but good luck.
I'm going to ride the teacups.
I'm out.
Very quickly, the other thing I wanted to mention quickly is losing your kids at Walt Disney World. It happens, I think, more often than we're aware of. But Disney's also very good about this. Certainly, when you're going with your kids, I think a good strategy is always, regardless, even if you're planning on going to the parks with your kids, you always want to have some sort of plan, like where to meet if something happens, or at least to tell them to tell a cast member, and don't just sit there and wait for the inevitable. Wouldn't you guys agree that'd be generally a good idea?
I think a good idea would be able to put an Amber Alert board on top of the castle. That would help too.
There's no way. Are you? Can you imagine the lost kid area? I mean, geez, talk about.
But they would be getting lost just to go up on the Amber Alert.
That's right. Mike
I made
Bull
the
is
point.
lost.
I made the point.
But that's not a bad idea if they had it on the on the time wait board.
Space Mountain has a 50-minute wait, and Little Lucy is lost in Farland.
I don't think that's
lost
so
Lucy.
I don't think
Lucy's
that's
lost
so
again.
funny.
Yeah,
I
it
think
sounds
that's
like
a good
they have the
idea.
Jungle Cruise, like that narration. When you're waiting in the queue line over there. The weather today will be hot and humid. Tomorrow, hot and humid. Also, the Johnson family has lost their little son. If you can see them, please give them a ring. But anyway, getting back on topic, you want to definitely, come up with a contingency plan. But Disney's very good about finding lost children. Usually, I mean, I think you generally don't even hear any horror stories like I lost my kid for 8 days. I mean, give them credit where credit is due. They generally do. The cast members are trained to look for children that are out of place, look like they're lost, and assisting them. And so that's something that it's peace of mind in that regard. And Disney's going to work with you definitely to accommodate you should something like that unfortunately happen.
One thing as a parent too, the one thing they need to make sure their kids understand is what's a cast member. So that's one thing we always did when the kids were little, was
That's
go
good.
and show them a cast member, show them the name badge, show them that they're the ones in the funny clothes,
That's
not
right.
in the tourist clothes.
That's a good point. Very good point. Well, that's it for us today. If you want to find our older episodes, read our show notes, or send us your comments, visit the Walt Disney World Today website at wdwtoday.com. For Len Testa, Mike Scopa, Mike Newell, and Annette Owens, I'm Matt Hochberg. We'll see you on the next show.
Still think it's a good idea.
This has been a production of Mouse World Radio.